basically ran this old conversation around hair and its place in shaping culture, how and hair diseases, and I'm sure that Barrister Toyin mentioned one, that she had experienced, and I think I mentioned one with Ayin with just this afternoon. So, what are the hair diseases that you are aware of, and how do people manage them? It's actually happening because I remember there's a time I was in the northern part of Nigeria, and my hair was very healthy, it was even relaxed then. But once I touch my hair, just this edge, and next thing, I just see my hair falling off easily. I've never had that kind of experience before. So I don't think it was the food, it was just the weather. It was too ash for my hair. So I just touched my hair, and next time I see my hair on my hands. Like that's how it was, wasn't it? It was very strange to me. Then with time, I had to understand how to take care of my hair in that kind of environment. So most of us are in different locations. Sometimes, the weather, all of that affects our hair. So can you talk about that? What we can do about, hair diseases, hair management, especially the natural people that are not natural into the natural hair, how do they manipulate that? Because I feel sometimes natural hair, I still have that opinion. I'm still working on it. That some people have this natural hair, but it does not suit them. It doesn't bring out their beauty. So I feel that they should go ahead and relax their hair and look better instead of looking unhealthy. I know that love is looking at me and she's smiling, but that's my own opinion. That's why this round table is about your views. That's why it's not like the regular AK. That is my own opinion that if it's not looking good on you, you don't know how to manage it. Can you just find a better way to, do your hair? I know that we're having this, well, let's go on. So that's it. I've trained open to our speakers. Can we talk about this hair and its place in shaping culture now? Then also the Gen Zs and like now we're talking on the chat, you can see who are the Gens, who are the millennials. I even saw that we have the Gen X here. There was a way the Gen X were doing their hair. I remember that, I don't know, maybe I know Mr. Bakunde is here. And I remember at the time my grandma was always, she prefers wearing wig. Then I met my mother. Her own is relaxer. Don't add attachment, just relaxing your hair. That's her own and look fine. And she keeps that preach, she tells us that saying, the hair is the glory of a woman. So if you cut your hair, she feels that's you're actually cutting off the glory, or the whatever. So, but everything it's still based on our own opinion. And now the millennials, I think we are in between. Abi, love, and I think we're in between, but you will get to say that. But the Gen Zs, I don't know what you have to say about hair care from way back to millennia to now. See, Annie's Esther, I don't know. I know I explore it hair, but I'm not sure. I shall try this. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's
I
get into it. Let's start with
I like
Annie, then we'll move
I like
to
to go
barrister.
first.
Yeah, welcome. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to start first with hair loss, then go into how natural hair looks, who is it for, and then talk about also my own hairstyle. And so with hair loss, I just want to say first that if anyone here is suffering with any hair diseases which typically lead to hair loss, that is not your fault. Many of the reasons we're here, even if you have like your edges are gone or you have an alopecia or you did something to your hair and that caused your hair to fall, were not your fault. You didn't know that those things would happen. Um, you probably had certain practices that caused it, but that's okay. I say this because I feel like a lot of people feel shame about hair loss and it stops them from going to see the right professional. They end up hiding on the wigs, hiding on the extensions. And the thing with hair loss is time. If you catch it on time, there's still something that you do. But if you feel shame about it, then you're scared to see someone who can actually help you and reverse what is happening. So I want to say to you that it's not your fault. Um, when you know that, you just see this is something that has happened to you, but this is something that there are solutions to. Now I want you to look for a trichologist in your area. Trichologists are people who specialize in hair care and hair loss particularly. We can't diagnose anything on here, but if you go and see people, a trichologist, I know one in Lagos who I really love is Leroy. They will tell you what is happening to your hair and what you need to do to take care of your hair. And so I just want to extend that out there. So for anyone who might know, this is not a thing, I think even laugh. It's not a thing to laugh about. Very personal about It's a very personal part of parents. And if you know someone didn't, you please don't advise them just go and cut your hair. I know that's probably why people are here. Please advise them to go and see a trichologist to actually help them restore their confidence with themselves and in their hair. And so I would like to focus more on traction alopecia because that's where I know traction alopecia is main hair loss caused from pulling, from braids, friction from braids, typically in the front. And we see that Black women rates of hair loss because of the way we style our hair, because of even when you're wearing a wig, even what we call protective styles are not really protective if they're pulling your edges, if they're rubbing them. And these things I see children with extensions from the age of 4 or 5 and even before. It is just setting people, our children up for their 20 to no longer have any hair here because you keep doing the wearing braids and they keep pulling on your hair and they keep causing your hair to fall or be weak. And it's not saying don't wear these things. It's saying also have practice, like make sure you're moisturizing your hair, make sure you're also moisturizing your edges, make sure they're not picking everything, make sure the hair extensions are not so heavy on them. And so I want to say like that's one major type of hair loss that we see among Black women based on the practices that we do. And I'm not saying do not do them, but I'm saying that gain more information, which I hope to share here, that would actually help you properly do those styles, but in a way that cares for your hair. Because I don't know about you guys, but I would rather have full edges than long hair. I want to come on this screen and be able to turn my head side to side and we're not seeing a gap here. I find that very beautiful. And I think that we need to be very careful as to what practices we're teaching the next generation, because by the time they reach certain ages, they're going to be fighting these hair loss issues that could have been prevented. And now, unnatural hair doesn't look beautiful on certain people. I'm a person of faith. I think that God created us beautifully and gave us this hair. When we say it doesn't look beautiful on certain people, it feels very weird for me to say because it's like this thing that you were giving is not for you. For some people they can wear it, but for some people they cannot wear it. It just feels very very weird for me to feel like that is how would God create something less than perfect? I think some people don't know how to style their hair, and even just going back to saying you can't wear this style. Not everybody can wear this style. I can wear a style like this because part of my personality is then I love to do styles like it makes me happy. This is who I am. If somebody else wears it, it will fall flat because their personality may not be able to carry the hairstyle. And that's just it. If someone else wears the hairstyle will carry the investment. So I believe that the same way, we have different body types and we find clothes that fit us and that fit and things that might fit you might not fit me. I believe hairstyles the same way. You find styles that work for you, for your face structure, for your lifestyle, for your routine. If you don't know, go to a salon, let them help you find a style that works. But to say that this hair is not for certain people because they're not carrying it off, it might just be that they don't have the skills to know how to style their hair properly or find a style that works for them. And I believe that people spend a lot of money then buying going to get your wig and everything. You can also invest that in going to a salon and they style your hair so beautiful. We see so many beautiful natural hairstyles now. And so I believe that everybody can wear the natural hair because they were blessed with it. But I think that more people need to do a lot more. Maybe learning how to properly care for their hair, how to moisturize their hair to make it easier to care for, and how to find styles that suit their face, that suit their personality, and make them happy. And so finally, with the generational thing, I believe that Gen Z, I just crossed into Gen Z, so I'm part of them. I believe that we're a lot more for like freedom and doing whatever we want to do. And I think that many people are just tired of having to the amount of work, even when you relax your hair, the constant relaxing or this hair is there's always some work to do with hair, with your appearance, with your face, as well as with your hair, right? But I think a lot of Gen Zs, we think a lot about our mindset. How do we talk about self-love a lot? Do you love yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? If I'm somewhere and I just want to leave my house to go and buy something. I cannot leave my house back. If not, I feel scared. Come on, there's something wrong there, right? So I think a lot of us are very much about the mindset that we don't want to be stuck with feeling beautiful. We want to feel loved as we are. We love acceptance as in accept me as I am, take me as I am. So I believe that has gone into hair as well. It's like this is our hair that we were given. Why are we doing all of these things to fit into a certain standard of beauty that does not work for us and did not hair type when it was being created. But I will also say that sometimes there's an age factor to it as well, especially if you've not learned how to style your hair as you've grown older. Some people, when you're in your 30s and your 20s, working in the boardroom in offices, they also have a standard of hairstyles that they want you, which can be sometimes problematic. But if you have certain views of what a boss woman is like, when you're 25, 28, 30, that is what you want to look like. So your priority at that point might not be your natural hair. Your priority will be what makes me feel powerful. And for a lot of people, that might be a long straight because that's what they see. So when I mentioned that because then when you get to millennials, that's what they're probably thinking. I need to make money. I need to feed my children. I need to do all these things. If my hair is going to be what is not going to get me in this space, I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. I'm going to wear this wig that I know people will accept and do. And so then when you get much older, you're like, convenience, I've lived my life, I've enjoyed myself, I'm going to cut it hair because I don't want to be doing all of this. I'm going all about, even for people with straight hair, I just don't want to even deal with hair at all. I just want to be. So I believe it's a generation, like you can say Gen Zs, millennials, based on the values that we prioritize. But I also think there's an age factor to it based on what is your priority at a certain age. That makes certain decisions as to how you want to appear and how you want people to perceive you.